Hey friends, what's going on there? So in this lesson, I want to do a melody exercise, right? And we're going to be looking at Can't Help Falling in Love with You, the Elvis classic. And I'm just going to show you the verse here. But what I'm going to do is play the verse. I'll play the chords in the verse, and I'm going to pick out the melody notes from the chords. And actually, for the bulk of this video, I'm going to show you the process that I went through of figuring out what those melody notes were. A few of you have asked me about this. And I find as a guitarist who likes to sing along with myself sometimes, it's fun, it's a good skill to be able to do this, to be able to listen to a song, say you know the chords, right? But you want to figure out what are the exact notes that you hear in your head, right? And lots of times these notes, these melody notes that you sing or that you hum, can be found in the chords you're playing. So again, in this video, I'm going to go through, it's just the 16 measures of the verse. I'm going to go through, find the melody notes, I'll show you my process, and hopefully that might be helpful for you. Whether you want to play along like I just did, or you want to take this general skill and apply it to another song, right? I also have some blank tab paper that you can get at my website. I just made it this past week, and I used it for this lesson. So what you're about to see is me using the actual template I created. You can get that as well, and the cool thing about that is it's I have a few different versions or pages in the PDF. There's a blank tab with no timing underneath. There's a 6/8 time tab, which is what I'm using for this one. There's a 3/4 time one. There's a 4/4 time with 16th notes, with 8th notes. So a few different options there, but it's just one PDF, and you print out the pages you need, keep them around, and when you're in a pinch, they're great to write things down. So let's get into this song. I'm going to do a full lesson for this song separately, but again, this is a fun little exercise that I think is helpful, so let's get into it. Thanks to all of you who are supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, y'all, so let's get going with figuring out the melody notes for this song. So first thing I'm going to do is write down the chords here, and I also should note, again, that I'm using the blank tab paper. You can get this over at my website. This is going to be in 6/8 time, right? 6 counts per measure, which is what this song has. So it's important that if you're going to use this paper, you can get the kind with no counting if you don't know what, if you don't care about rhythm. But if the song you're playing isn't a certain key signature or a certain time signature, you want to get the right paper. So that's a separate topic though. Let's write down the chords here. I kind of know these off the top of my head. I'm going to use these, the basic ones for this song. Meaning in my actual lesson, I might use some voicings of these chords, which are a little bit different. But for now, I'm just going to use the regular old chords. So, wise men say only fools rush in. So F, C, G, G. All right. So F, C, G, G, and then we have these last two measures, which are but I can't help. So F, G, F, G, A minor to F. So F, G, A minor, F falling in C, love, G with you. All right, so if we were just to play these chords from beginning to end, you basically could get the the melody for the whole thing, right? Wise men say A minor to F to C to G, but F, G, A minor, F and C, G, C. So now we know those chords are correct, and what we're going to do is I'm going to write the chords with pencil here, and let's see. So starting with this C, and I'm going to write the full chord. And I might have to erase some of this as we go, because sometimes the melody note will use a note that's different than what's in the chord in some examples, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So get those two chords in there. For chords like the F, even though we probably won't play the full 6-string F, I'm still going to write it down just because you want to have all the building blocks, and then later on you can get rid of the ones you're not going to use. That's fine. So now I have all the chords written for the entire 16 measures here. Again, starting with the C. Wise to the G, to G and A minor, F and C, G, C. If you want to do any kind of transcription, you don't have to, of course, but it is helpful to be able to write all these chords down if you just memorize what the string values are, because it can let you do this sort of thing if you want to. You don't have to. But now let's look at the melody notes, right? And the melody notes, again, are the notes that we're going to sing or hum or whistle, right? So those are all notes, right? Whoops. So da da da. Right? You can hear those first three notes. Da 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 da. So let's look at the first line here. It helps to have the melody kind of roughly in your head, and I don't have a great ear for hearing notes and differentiating or figuring out when a note is off pitch or whatever, to be honest. But I do know chords, right? And I can sort of roughly hear melodies in my head. So if I play these first three chords, usually the melody note is going to be one of the notes in the chord, okay? Especially the first note. There are exceptions to this, of course, but let's go through. So wise. These are the five notes in this chord. I can immediately hear it's kind of a high note. Wise, right? So this is a C. This first fret of the second string right here is a C. Wise. Now let's test it though, because lots of times I'll think I have the proper melody note, and I don't put it in context, and I actually am wrong. So wise, I know it goes up to men. Okay, so immediately, because it's going up, I'm thinking it's probably what's higher than this note in the C. In the G, there's only one note higher. It's this third fret of the low E string or high E string. So immediately, we have those first two notes. Okay, we have this. This is one melody note, and then we have this one right here. So, wise men. Okay, now wise men say. So it comes back down. Now if we're going back down from this, and it's going to be one of these notes. Let's try this open E string. Okay, so if I do the open E string, this isn't right. It's too high. It just sounds off. Let's go lower. Let's go to the second string, first fret. Okay, so back to the C note, right? So wise men say. Okay, I'm fairly confident that's the note here, right? Say. And it's going to stay on that chord. Stay, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to start off this measure on this one as well. But I know the next notes are only fools rush in. So what I'm going to naturally do is just go up the scale. And I know from my notes in the C scale, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? Just happen to know that. Again, you can use tools like my Fret Monster tool to look at these notes within any key, and you'll be in good shape. So only fools, only fools. So I'm guessing it goes from this C note O to a D, which is third fret of the second string, to the E, which is open first string, and then it's going to end up on this F right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know we're going to end up here. And somewhere around here, there's a couple notes we have to figure out when they are. So let's do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's on the 5 and the 6. We're going to go from a third fret on the second string to an open on the first string. So again, these first four measures. Wise men. A minor, say. A minor again. And then third fret, and then open. And then we go to this F. So I'm just going to play the thinnest four strings of the F. I'm not going to do the full bar chord. Okay? So this is the note here, this F. Fools rush in. So it's going down. Fools. Let's try that highest note of the C. Rush. That's right. There we go. Rush. Okay, the G. So we're going down again, right? Fool's rush. If this is an E and we want to go down, what's the next step down? It's going to be a D note. Now the D note is actually the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So let's try that G voicing with a 3 right here. And this is a D note. And if I'm correct, fools rush in. Yep, that's it. So right here, this note is the melody note. Fools rush in. Okay, this measure has no melody note, so we're just gonna keep the melody note from the prior measure here. So here's our 3. Okay, so first 2 lines now. First 8 measures. Wise men say only fools rush in. And what I'm going to do here is erase this note on the thinnest string, because here's a cool little trick. And I'm actually going to do this up here as well. When the melody note is the sort of highest in pitch note that's being played, it stands out to our ear really clearly, right? I don't really know why, but check this out. I'm going to play this tab exactly as you see it, and I'm not going to play like the thinnest string on the C or the A minor, right? Ready? Okay, I don't know if that's called the high end. It's just those treble notes stand out very clearly. So those first melody notes for the first 2 lines are figured out. So let's go to this last 4 measures here and bring this thing home. Okay, so I can't help. So I go to that F and listen out for that note. It sounds like it might be this one. This is the 4th string. Okay, this is the D. Actually, it's the 3rd string. It's this G. I think that's it. So again, let's check the context though. G, G. So the G string, 2nd fret, is actually an A note. Okay. And if we were to go up 1 from the A, it's going to be a B, which is the open of the 2nd string. Can't help. Okay. Another ascending thing here. Check this out. The C is what I just played. The B is right here, and the A right here. So these first 3 measures, but I to the G can't help. And again, to illustrate this point that I brought up earlier, let's erase these notes that are higher in pitch, because that's gonna make it more clear as a tab what we have to do. Okay, so let's finish this up. I can't help. Now this one I actually did earlier, and I know this is the tricky one. Okay, so I can't help falling in love with you. Okay, falling in 1, 2, 3. There's 3 melody notes in this measure. The first one almost certainly going to happen on the 1 count. 1, and then I don't know when the other ones are going to come. They could be late in the measure, but let's figure it out. So I can't help. So it sounds like it's higher than this 1, right? 1. What is higher up here? Well, the first fret of the first string is higher. I can't help fall. That's way too high though to start. So it must be something less than this note, okay, but higher than this note. So now we have to go to the C scale. If this is a C, if this note right here is a C, what is 1 note higher than a C, but is not yet an F? Well, there's 2, right? There's the C, the D, and the E, okay? So I can't help. And sure enough, if we just go from this C and we walk up to the next highest note, which is a D, and then we go to an E, and then we end up on this 1 right here, that'll be the next 3 notes. But here's the deal: is this one is not going to happen right here. So this one, this is a tricky one. So what we're going to do is we figured out it's this 3, this D note. So I can't help falling in. So what we're going to do here is, this is where just the experience of having learned many songs comes in. I know that this is a very common 3-chord or 3-string voicing, 3, 2, 3, right? Let's make this even more clear. Well, the timing here is weird. 3, it almost sounds like it's like a triplet or something, like da 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 da. So how would we do this? Let's see. Let's just approximate it. Falling in. Okay, so if we do the beginning of that line, why can't help falling in, right here. Right here. Falling, open, and then first fretting, love. So right away, I just kind of figured out it's this highest string of the C. Love with, it's going down from that. If we go down from that, what is it in a G? Is it the open second string? That's too low. So it must be this 3rd fret again, maybe. Let's try that. Remember that 3rd fret right there? With, yep, that's it. So 3, 3. Oh, actually, I don't need that top 3 because we don't want anything above the melody note, remember? Whoa, almost dropped my guitar. So, love with, and we're going down again. What is lower than this 3? Well, there's the 1 on the 2nd string. You, yeah, that's it. And this last measure just is the same note sustained. So here we go. We've worked through the whole thing. So again, I'm going to take a pick. I'm going to play exactly what's here. Okay? Okay, so there we have it, beginning to end. Again, this has been Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love. 16 measures, okay? It's a handful of chords. And for the F, I'm actually gonna get rid of this F and make it a simpler F here. You know, but the melody notes are almost exclusively coming from notes that are normally in the chords, okay? So the F is the one exception where we're starting on the D. And it's not unheard of that you have melody notes that are outside of the chord, but usually they will go back to notes that are in the chord, right? And also, I know that D minor is the relative minor of F major, so I mean maybe this could even be a D minor chord, but I can't help falling in love with you. Kind of sounds the same, right? Either way, these notes are going to work. So these are the melody notes for the entire song. Again, you can get the PDF for this over at my website, and look for my full lesson on this song as well. But happy to share this with y'all, and thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.